Hey guys, everything new under the sun here. I'm back to using my original recording software. I think it works a little bit better for me. This is an article out of Zero Hedge, and this is interesting. It's about asylum seekers and Norway and Sweden there. And Norway warns Sweden will collapse. PM will defy Geneva Convention to protect border. As you might have heard, Sweden has a refugee problem, and this is a significant problem in this day and age. I think this is going to really turn world history. This is going to really add to the increase in significant events happening and really speed up the process to get us to the one world government, the end time scenario, because they're really changing countries and populations and economies. They're having a direct relationship on economies. They're really dragging down all the economies because they're requiring social assistance and food aid and stuff, and there's just millions of migrants moving into all these countries. Not to mention they're also causing troubles in some countries, like Cologne, Germany, I guess it is, with the rapes that occurred. As you might have heard, Sweden has a refugee problem. We spent quite a bit of time documenting the country's trials and travails over the course of the last 12 months, during which time Sweden has taken more than 160,000 asylum seekers. Last month, on the heels of reports from Germany that the men of Arab and North African origin assaulted women in central Cologne during New Year's Eve celebrations, Swedish media alleged that police orchestrated a massive cover-up designed to keep a string of similar attacks that allegedly occurred at a youth festival in Stockholm's Kungsträdgården last August from seeing the light of day. Meanwhile, a 22-year-old refugee center worker was stabbed to death by a Somali migrant at a shelter for asylum seekers, and at the Stockholm train station, gangs of Moroccan migrant children reportedly spend their days attacking security personnel and accosting women. Now, you need to take these things with a grain of salt, but on the other hand, the news is wide open. It's out there. The mainstream media isn't reporting on it, but certainly everywhere on the internet is reporting this stuff, and so there's got to be some truth to this. And you got to recognize that this was probably likely, even, these people aren't evil, these refugees aren't evil, but they're certainly desperate, and they're from completely different cultures, where there's respect and rules and things that are different than Western cultures. And are they taking advantage of it, or are they just acting out because they have nothing else to do? Who knows? But there's definitely trouble, and we should have recognized that this is going to cause a lot of trouble financially, and with the police and with the citizens. It's going to cause all sorts of trouble. Sweden plans to deport 80,000 of the refugees this year, but according to Norwegian Prime Minister Erna Solberg, it may be too little too late to keep the country from collapsing. Now, that's significant talk for the Prime Minister of another country, an adjacent country, to say that Sweden is going to collapse. That's significant. So concerned is Solberg that she's now crafted an emergency law that will allow Norway to refuse asylum seekers at the border in the event it all breaks down in Sweden. Now, when you hear of prime ministers creating emergency orders because they're expecting the collapse of a society, that's significant, a real and present danger sort of news. It is a forced majeure proposals, which we will have in the event that it all breaks down. The power just comes, and all end in Norway, because we are at the top of most of Europe. Norway is the end point. It is not it, Solberg said in an interview with Berlinski, who's Tim Knudsen adds that the legislation will soon be presented to the Parliament and is expected to meet broad support. This must be translated to English automatically or something. Here's how the proposal is being presented by the anti-immigration Swedish online magazine, Frida Tidir. Norway is now preparing to denounce the Geneva Convention and to secure the border with Sweden by force without letting people apply for asylum. It says at the bottom, yes, worst-case scenarios like Sweden's Foreign Minister Margot Wallström described last October, when she said most people feel that we cannot maintain a system where perhaps 190,000 people will arrive every year. In the long run, our system will collapse. This is going to be a trigger point. I mean, this could be one of the triggers that really starts pulling these countries down. They're already in massive economic trouble. Their banks are in trouble. They owe so much money, and now the refugees are really putting strain on them. The Western countries just can't afford it, not when the economy is so bad. And all these things are piling on top of the economy, and this is going to pull it down. I expect other countries to make similar threats as international orders break down amid cascade of Mideast refugees. Once everyone's borders are closed, the question becomes this: will animosity push member states in Merkel's harmonious union to the brink of war and one another? So if economic troubles don't bring down the European Union, then maybe asylum seekers will. So there's lots of trouble. And look at this. This could be very well the trigger. I think it's going to be a combination of these factors that are going to pull down the economy, and we are ready for it. This is going to happen this year, very likely. Thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe, and I'll keep you updated. We're looking for market things happening today, so we'll see what happens.